Hello and welcome to another episode of Foodie Friday. Well, today's menu, I would have to say, has been inspired by this song that I've had rolling around in the back of my mind all week. I know it's the Revealing Your Inner Rock Star theme that we're doing right now because I've had all these old song memories that keep coming up. You know, classic rock from the 70s, 80s when MTV first hit the scene. I mean, there's so many songs that I look back and remember different periods of my life. Well, one in particular is by a band from the early 80s named Siouxsie and the Banshees. You may not have ever heard of Siouxsie and the Banshees, but they were pretty big on MTV when it first came out. And my brother and I, as some of you may know, had a little garage band called Circus Circus. I was 16 and 17 years old, and we were big fans of Siouxsie and the Banshees. And one of her songs that we did a cover for was Hong Kong Garden. And that song's been in my head all week long, so I decided to build a menu around that song, and my inspiration for what I'm making for you today came from that. So what I'm going to be putting together is a rainbow roll. It's basically a nori roll up with a blue-green seed pate. I know it sounds crazy, but it's going to be a really colorful rainbow roll that I'm going to put together with a dipping sauce. I'm also going to make something I'm calling a succulent seaweed salad, and then we are also going to make a lemongrass mint cooler. So come on, let's go into the raw food kitchen and check it out. Okay, let's get this Hong Kong garden party started with the succulent seaweed salad. Let me show you the ingredients that I've put together that you're going to need to have on hand to make the salad come together. I went to my local Whole Foods and found ready-to-use wakame. You may say it differently than that, but it's basically a sea vegetable, super high in minerals. Great to get this into your diet. This is what it looks like before you reconstitute it. It's just dry seaweed. But then I added water, and I've been letting it soak for the last 15 or 20 minutes. So it's totally reconstituted. I'm going to drain this. It's about half of the bag of wakame, so it's about 3/4 of an ounce by weight. This bag is a 1.76 ounce bag, or 50 grams. I used half the bag, so that gives you an example of how much is in there. I mean, it really definitely expands when you add water. I'm going to add in 1 small chopped Granny Smith apple that I've drizzled just a little bit of lime juice on to retain its color. I've got 2 tablespoons of scallion or green onion. I have grated some fresh garlic as well as some fresh ginger. I'm going to take a couple of teaspoons maybe, or maybe a tablespoon of cilantro, chop that up and add it to the mix. And then I'm also going to add in my favorite black and white sesame seeds. You could even probably substitute hemp seeds if that's what you have on hand, but sesame seed I think adds a nice little crunch and flavor to this dish. I'm going to mix up a dressing of a little bit of agave nectar, rice wine vinegar, sesame oil, and I was going to use namashoyu until I found at my local Whole Foods Coconut Secret new raw coconut aminos. It has a little bit different flavor than namashoyu. I think it's going to be a real cool addition, and so I don't know if your local health food store is carrying this yet, but you can order it online. And you can just Google Coconut Secret. So it's really great for people that have wheat allergy or that are allergic to soy. So it's a great alternative, and that's why I bought it. So let's put this together and see how it turns out. There's the finished product. The succulent seaweed salad is absolutely a taste sensation. I just had a little bite. You know, you've got the saltiness of the seaweed with the sweetness of the Granny Smith apple, a little bit of agave nectar. You've got all those flavors that go so well together, the garlic, the ginger, the scallions. It's just a really great way to get more minerals into your diet. It's great for your thyroid if you're suffering from hypothyroidism. Definitely check out the succulent seaweed salad. For the blue-green pate, you're going to need a cup of soaked nuts or seeds. The recipe calls for a 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds and a 1/2 cup of almonds. I was out of almonds, so hello. 1 cup of soaked sunflower seeds. I just soaked them for a couple of hours. I'm going to add this to the food processor with some chopped cilantro, fresh from the garden. I just picked some mint and basil. My basil's getting a little droopy here. I'm going to add in just a bit of my coconut aminos, a pinch of sea salt, some juice of a fresh lemon, and some blue-green algae or I'm actually using spirulina. I like crystal manna as well. You can Google those and find them online, but I just bought this spirulina at my local health food store. Okay, the blue-green algae turned out pretty awesome. I'm getting ready to roll our rainbow roll. I'm not the best sushi maker, believe me, so we'll see how I do. But I do have these amazing nori sheets that I got from Navitas Naturals. They're raw certified organic nori sheets. So we're going to lay one of those down on my sushi rolling mat, smear some of the blue-green pate over that, and then we're going to fill them with the rainbow of color. I think purple cabbage is the only thing that's missing here. Mango, red bell pepper, carrot, chives, daikon radish sprouts, avocado, basil, and mint leaves. Okay, let's see how they turn out. Well, I have bad news, Raw Food Rehab. That's all that's left of the rainbow roll. Yeah, because you know what? I just had about 5 teenagers blow through my kitchen and they wanted to taste what I was making for this episode of Foodie Friday. So, well, they're nice enough to have left one lonely little roll behind for Mommy, but they loved it, so I think we're in good shape. I fortunately took some still photographs of the finished product, which I'll share with you on the website, but if it's teenager approved, then you know it's got to be good. I also did not mention the dipping sauce, which comes from the Raw Food Detox Diet by Natalia Rose. I'll make sure to add that recipe underneath this video. If you caught last week's episode of Foodie Friday, you know that I broke out the mallet because I'm all obsessed with lemongrass all of a sudden. I smashed some again this week for my new recipe, lemongrass mint cooler. In this, I have been steeping on the lowest heat about 4 cups of water, 2 stalks of lemongrass, some freshly sliced ginger, 1 whole cayenne pepper, and a little bit of mint leaves and raw honey. Just on the lowest setting, been steeping for about 2 hours. I strained it and added lime juice and sparkling water to make the lemongrass cooler. It is just so refreshing. It's a perfect accompaniment to the recipes that I've put together today. I hope you will try it and you will enjoy it. You guys, you know I'll be back with you next week for another episode. I love you and I'll see you then.